Alright gentlemen, so we are back in the gym and today I am in one of the most amazing powerlifting and strength training gyms in this town, in the city actually, and the co-founder, the owner, the only founder and the owner of the gym, Mr. Parn Banerjee, he is a very good friend of mine. We've been lifting for quite some time now and this is his baby. Today we'll be talking about the importance of strength training, right?
Yes.
So Parn, he'll take over the video and he'll be discussing some very important things why you should be strength training. My name is Mayank Bhattacharya, his name is Parn Banerjee. Let's have the intro.
My name is Parn Banerjee and I own a fitness studio in Powai. How I got into fitness is a long story, but I was overweight throughout my childhood. I had asthma. When I got into physical activities was at a relatively later age, around 22, 23, and that's when I got into marathons and swimming and kickboxing. So that got me into a lot of shoulder injuries, knee injuries. That got me interested into weight training. So that was my first foray into weight training. Then I had some issues with a lot of injuries with that as well, and that kind of prompted me to search for a good trainer. I really couldn't find one, so I did a personal training certification on my own. There I kind of realized that training industry in India is pretty mediocre in a sense that they primarily teach you bodybuilding stuff, and which didn't seem right to me, because as I researched on my own, as I learned more about the field, I got to know the importance of strength training and why it was important for fat loss, for looking good, for keeping your joint health and so on. So that's how I got into it. I've been doing personal training for the last 3 years. I'm basically a graduate from IIT Kanpur. I did my engineering in material science and metallurgy. So I was not really into lifting or any physical sport as such. For the last 3 years, I've been training really seriously. So like my bench press is around 95 kgs, my deadlift is around 150 kgs, and I've squatted over 110 kgs. I recently opened up my studio. There's a lot of athletic training stuff around here which you can train with, and this is my baby, and I wanted to take this dream to all over Mumbai as of now. Let's see from where it goes. So first of all, what is strength training? So how it differs, like we all go to gym, right? We all do some form of weights. How it differs from your usual day-to-day activity that you do in the gym. How is it different from you doing bicep curls, having an arm day, or doing 1000 crunches? So how it differs is in terms of 3 things. Number 1 is your exercise selection. So strength training is primarily compound lifts. So instead of leg press, think squats. Instead of leg extensions, think lunges. Instead of doing hamstring curls, think deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts, variations like that. Number 2 is the set rep scheme. You may be doing 3 sets of 15 for each exercise, or you may be doing 50 crunches and then 20 sit-ups and things like that. Strength training is primarily relatively higher sets, but done for relatively lower amount of repetition. And the third and the most obvious one is the amount of weight that you lift. So as suggested by the name, strength training is where you lift a lot more weight than what you usually do. How it benefits is you want to be strong. If you become stronger, you gain more muscle mass. You relatively look better, and a lot of other things happen, and we'll discuss those in detail. Alright, so reason number 1 why you should do strength training is aesthetics. So let's be honest, everyone at least goes to the gym for the first time for looking good, and then we kind of stem off from there. But why we should do strength training for aesthetics is a bigger muscle can have the potential to be a stronger muscle, but a stronger muscle is definitely a bigger muscle. So even if you would see with powerlifters and strongmen, who are like the strongest people on earth, strongest athletes on earth, they are relatively very jacked, right? Although they might be at a relatively higher body fat percentage, but they still have huge musculature. You're not going to get that V-taper which really fits in a jacket or in a suit that well if you're not doing strength training. Relatively bigger muscles, so bigger chest, bigger shoulders, bigger back, even bigger legs look much better than a flat physique. If you lift heavier, you also train your neuromuscular system to handle relatively bigger weights, and that kind of helps us in maintaining our joint health.
Alright, so that concludes the first part, the first video of the coming series, the strength training series. Thank you so much, Parn, for having us on your studio. Thank you so much for having us in your gym. If you have any questions and queries regarding the upcoming videos that we're going to make, what are we going to talk about, Parn?
We can talk about specific exercises, we can talk about any technique fixes which you want, any pain issues that you have, any routines, generic routines that you want.
Yeah, so if you're a teen or if you're someone who's new to this, or if you are new to powerlifting, you have been bodybuilding for some time, you want to switch to powerlifting or you want to be strong, then you can let us know your comments in the comment section box below and we will take them out and we'll make this whole series based on that. Thanks again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it entertaining and informational. Thank you so much, Parn, again for having us here. You can check Parn's gym, you can check Parn's fitness on Instagram and Facebook. Parn, what's your URL, what's your link, how can we find you?
PSI Fitness on Facebook, Fitness PSI at Instagram. That's pretty much it.
So you can find the description, you can find the details in the description box down below. But on that note, we have to shoot a lot more videos and he has to train a lot more strong men up here. So I'll take his leave, I'll go out and I'll make you guys more videos. Till then, don't forget to stay strong, live heavy, and stay sexy.